Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm tylauren on my social channels. If you don't follow me, you know you definitely should. If you aren't subscribed yet, you definitely should. You should hit the little bell so you know when I'm uploading another video because your girl's consistent. I'm so excited for today's video because I have started a new, a huge new thing in my life that I spoke about on my Instagram. But I am now going to therapy, which is kind of a really big deal because I've been wanting to go for like 5 years now, and I just never did the jump because I was just like super scared, which I'm sure a lot of people are. I got some questions in a question box when I posted it on my Instagram about like my therapy journey. It's only been about 2.5 months. So I'm kind of just gonna walk you through like why I started, how I started, and like answer your questions from that question box, and try to help you guys as much as I can because I think that this is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it was really scary, and I'm still scared, and I have like a lot of issues with being vulnerable and being like very open on my platforms. Like this video is a lot, y'all. Okay, if you know me, you know like how I am. Talking about things like this, mental health, are things that I don't really touch on because not that I don't want to, but sometimes it's just harder than others. Like it's harder for others to like verbalize. See, I'm getting already tongue twisted. Because I'm getting nervous. But mental health is not something that's like really easy to talk about, especially in the community of being a person of color. So I am just excited to kind of open up and be a little bit more vulnerable on my platforms because I think it's not only me that's struggling, it's a lot of us. And if I can help you guys, that is the goal as always. So if you are interested and you want to, learn about my therapy journey or how to start your own therapy journey, please keep watching. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think of this video and if it helped you down below, and let's get started. So I have my phone because I have your questions, and then I kind of also like mapped out how I want to do this video because I feel like I could talk for about 7 hours, but I don't want to. We're gonna try to keep this to like 10 minutes because I feel like lately I've been filming a lot of talking videos and I don't want y'all to get bored with me, okay? I'm not a boring person, it's just Corona and there's not a lot of things we can do. So, whatever. The first thing I wanna talk about is basically how therapy and mental health is something that has never been spoken about in my life, in my family, even with my friends. I feel like it's just not something, we converse about. It's not something that is important, I would say. I feel like even when I was younger, like if you wanted to go to therapy or you went to therapy, you were a lunatic. And I hate that that norm was like kind of tainting me because, like as a woman of color, it's like you just do what you do, you're in survival mode, and all your problems, you'll just figure them out or you'll suppress them and push them under the rug, and then generational trauma and all those other things that you kind of take with you and don't even realize that you're taking it with you until you're in like relationships or friendships or anything in life, and you're realizing that you're handling these situations because of that. So it did take me a really long time to, understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to want to go to therapy. It's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. And I'm still like going through that process of telling myself that it's okay to do all those things. So I was like, okay, red flag. Obviously there's some trauma there. Obviously there's some issues there. I need therapy. And there has been a lot of things that have happened in my life, like small, large, family, not family, friends, so it's something that I've always thought about, and I've always seen people go to therapy and see how much it's helped them, especially one of my best friends. She's like one of the people that I've seen go to therapy and it's helped her so much, but I was still super unsure if it was for me because I've always been the strong friend and, blase, blase, blah. So I want to say about 5 years ago is when I was just like doing more research about therapy and how much it can help and how it's not just for crazy people. And I hate to say that, but that's honestly how I was raised. And I don't, I don't mean anything towards the mental health community when I say that. It's just something that I was, told. So it's kind of something that like sticks with you. But I remember doing the research about it and really wanting to go, but just not knowing how to go about it and how like other people were going about it. I was just like, I don't want to do it that way. And it's just like a very weird, scary topic. And it's just not something that I wanted to ever follow through with because I was just so scared. So I started influencing, and I honestly think if you're creative, you need therapy because you are constantly like feeling defeated because there's just so much going on in the industry and there's so much we have to tolerate. Not saying that other people in other industries don't go through a lot, but I do think being a creative is very draining, and having therapy as an outlet can be so helpful. I feel like I'm gonna go off on a tangent, and I'm just like, let me stick to the script. I'm an extreme suppressor. I suppress everything. I deal with a lot of like interpersonal things of like, am I enough? Is this working? Like, am I doing this the right way? And I'm like an overall very confident person, but I do like struggle with, you know, like insecurities like we all do. So I had to tell myself that like doing more research and mental health becoming more like popular, which is kind of crazy to say, but when it's spoke about more, I feel like you kind of have no choice but to like learn about it and hear about it. And I think that also helped, which I think is really amazing, because I feel like people are in worse situations than me and want to go to therapy and they just don't know how to go about it. But if we see it on social media and we see other people doing it, it becomes a lot more easier. And I think it becomes even more accessible. Even if it was accessible before, I feel like at least me, I felt like I was like, oh wow, this is actually possible. Like if I see other people doing it and them talking about their journey, I'm like, oh, like this, I could do this. Like I'm scared, but if she's not scared or he's not scared, then like, why am I scared, you know? And it's crazy to think like that, but that's kind of how the human brain works, especially with social media. So, like I said, I've been thinking about this for 5 years. Then 2020 hit, and I guess prior to 2020, I was so busy that I didn't have a second to breathe or think about anything else except for like working, getting home safe, eating, doing it all over again. You know, and I suppressed a lot of the issues that were going on, and it could be work stresses, it could be life stresses, it could be anything, but I knew I was just suppressing all of it because if I faced it, then I would have to like, you know, see how vulnerable I was getting, and then I would be like upset about it, and then it would distract me from work. And I'm a workhorse, so you guys know the process, especially if you are a Virgo or an earth sign. It's just a lot. It's a lot, y'all. So 2020 really did its damage on me, and I didn't realize it until I feel like once quarantine was kind of lifted and we were going back into like not normal life, but I was seeing my friends and I was seeing my family and I was seeing like I was getting more jobs and, you know, things were slightly going back to normal. That's when I knew that I was just like, this was the craziest year of my life, and I didn't even realize it until I wasn't in quarantine and I wasn't by myself anymore. And I was just like, you know what? Let me do some research on therapy. Was on like, I think it was psychology.com or Psychology Today, one of those things. I'll put all the resources that I discuss in the description so you guys can find it if that's the route you choose. But I remember calling and getting on the phone and sending out random emails and then never responding, and then the therapist following up, and I was so nervous to respond that I just didn't. And I was like, $300, like this is crazy, I can't afford this. Like, oh, I just got out of quarantine, like I'm low-key poor. So I got on the phone with one, which was a really big deal because it's like pitching yourself kind of, and getting like actually having the like confidence to reach out to a therapist is one thing, but actually responding to them and having a conversation or getting on a consultation call, y'all, that is the hard part, because that means it's like you're doing it and you're making it real, you know? So, excuse me, I got on the call with her. I realized that there was just no way, because I cannot afford $300 a week. That's absolutely insane. And it wasn't covered by my insurance because I have like bootleg insurance, which is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But y'all know, if you're a freelancer or creative, health insurance is not a thing. If it is a thing, it's like a really annoying thing. So after that, I spoke to other friends that have been going through therapy, and one of my close friends who lives in LA, Eve, she had mentioned to me this thing called Open Collective. It's basically like a membership program for, you know, like therapy and like helping you find affordable therapists. And I always looked into it, did the research, but never really went through with it. And then I want to say beginning of ending of 2020, I was like feeling like I was at rock bottom, and I was just like, I need to do this for myself. I need to do this for myself. I need to really focus on how I can better myself for 2021, because like I just went through this OD emotional year, and I need to pick myself back up and get back into like finding who I was, because I felt like I was losing who I was. And I was like, okay, this is a problem, because I was not loving my job. I was like miserable. Every day was like a chore. And I was just like, what's going on with me? Like, I've never been this person. And I was just like, I need to get to therapy before this gets even worse. So I finally reached out to, I went on Open Collective. I'm going to show you guys like right here, like what it looks like. You pay a certain price for membership, and then you pay a certain price for your actual therapist, etc. When you guys go into the app, it's very self-explanatory, and you guys can go through it. I mean, the website or the app, I'm not sure if it's an app, but it was super self-explanatory. You put in your filters. I wanted a woman of color. I found somebody, and we immediately had a consultation, and I immediately felt comfortable, which is not always the case. Some people tell me that it takes 5 therapists to find somebody that you actually like. So I was really scared about that, and that kind of discouraged me. But I was like, you know what, Ty? We cannot feel like this anymore. We cannot feel defeated, feel like there's like nothing left that makes me happy. And it's kind of crazy to say this and verbalize it, especially on a video to y'all, but it's like, I was going through it, and I still am, but I think therapy has just really helped me like pick myself back up and realize, you know, like you have a lot to do, girl, and you have a lot of potential, and you know, all those good motivational things that we say to ourselves. But I was really in a dark place, and I was just like, and if you know me, like I said, my close friends, or even just on the internet as like an influencer, content creator, like I am very like guarded, and I'm very, you know, like specific, and I don't talk about a lot of things on my platform. I keep it nice and sweet for y'all, which is not always the best, but at the same time, that's just how I am, a very private person. So talking about things like this was very like, ooh, like this is real life, but it's like scary, but it's also necessary, because when I started sharing things about therapy with you guys on my Instagram, I was getting insane amount of DMs and an insane amount of like support. And I was just like, okay, Ty, like opening up and being vulnerable is not that scary, because everybody else is going through it too. So the whole community aspect of sharing and being vulnerable is like amazing, and just getting the feedback that I was getting from you guys means a lot. So that's why I was like, I need to do this video, and I need y'all to be a part of this journey too, because I know that there's somebody else that's in the same position that wants help as well. So I am, I think, 2.5 months into therapy, and it is the absolute best thing ever. I go weekly, and I love my therapist. She's amazing. She's a woman of color. I live in Jersey. She lives in Jersey. It's virtual, and I hope one day to be able to meet her in person and have a therapy session in person. But yeah, it's honestly been the best choice ever. I am not 100% fixed by no means, but I do feel like I'm finally getting to the root of all of my issues, slowly but surely, which is not going to happen overnight. But honestly, y'all, it's the starting that counts. It's not anything else. It's just doing it. It's just, you know, like investing in your health, your mental health, investing in who you are, investing in bettering yourself, and, you know, trying to get over all of that trauma, whatever it is that you go through or been through. You know, I think that we need to take care of ourselves, especially in the like the community that we're in. You know, men and women of color, we struggle so much, and we've struggled so much that it's like we need an outlet, we need a place to feel safe. And I think that investing in therapy, investing in your mental health is the #1 place to start. So that's my spiel, and I feel like I've been chatting for hours already, but I do want to get into your questions and cover it in this video, because a lot of y'all asked some really great questions, and I really want to touch on them. So a lot of people ask like the process of finding one, like the platform you use, what you were like intentionally looking for. And honestly, I was looking for a woman of color, and I was looking for someone that is in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. I was also looking for someone that was affordable. I was looking for somebody that kind of covers the whole range of therapy. So it could be family, it could be relationships, it could be personal, it could be like whatever the case may be. I wanted somebody that kind of had education in all aspects of therapy. So that's what I looked for when I did my filters on Open Path Collective, which I'm going to link for you guys. I told you all the resources will be in the description, so don't worry. Don't worry. What makes it better, the therapy, like what, I'm guessing this person means like what makes life better or what makes how you feel better. Like I said, I'm a master suppressor. I do not talk about my feelings to anyone. I'm never vulnerable. I don't even cry, y'all, which is a problem. But, I am my own therapist. And I think that's a problem because it's like, you do not have all the answers. And I was constantly searching and searching and searching, you know, within myself to answer these questions and answer all of these things I had and like all these problems, and I was going nowhere because there's not a day that I'll ever go to my close friends, which is really, really sad, but that's why I'm in therapy, to help me get over certain things that I was facing. Future therapist here, I'm just glad you're speaking about this topic. That makes me really happy. Yeah, that makes me really happy. How did you go about finding a therapist and how did you know that they were a great fit for you? So kind of the same process that I discussed before. I got a lot of these questions, you know, testing out different websites, just Googling it. There's so many resources online. And I knew she was a great fit for me because, like I said, I don't talk to people about how I feel. So when she made me feel so comfortable on all topics, like being an influencer, being a creative, you know, being a woman of color in this time, it's like those little things that when people understand you, like it just makes you feel like cozy and happy. And that's what she did. And that's why I'm so happy. And not everybody's going to do that. So don't be discouraged if you do not find the therapist of your dreams the first time you start searching, because I think I just got lucky. A lot of these questions are very similar. So I kind of want to skip over the ones that I already spoke about. Like, how do you find a therapist? Oh, people are so sweet, y'all. This is what makes me happy about sharing. They're like, I'm so proud of you. We don't even know each other, but therapy is so great and I'm happy you got to that point. Like, that's so sweet. A lot of people are asking like how to start. So I think that's like a huge thing where people are just like kind of unaware and don't want to do the whole like, where can I find a therapist on google.com? Because that means that it's like you're actually doing it, which is the scary part. Someone said, do you find it difficult to go there, like that place inside of you that hurts, and express it? Honestly, yes, I hate it. I hate someone telling me how I am, and I hate, it's just who I am as a person. Like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how I am. Don't tell me about myself, because I know about myself and whatever. I'm a Virgo, y'all. It's a problem. But I think because it's coming from a sincere place and a genuine place of someone actually listening to you and getting, like, you're telling this therapist, like, I do this, I do this, I do this. But you're not actually saying like, okay, this is my problem, Ty, this is my problem. So she's there to tell me like, okay, I am listening to you and I'm listening to how you navigate the situation, and I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. And I think that's what I need, because that's me facing it. So yes, it's very hard and it gets very emotional, but those are things I need to work on. So that's how I know it's working. How did you find your therapist? How did you find your therapist? Guys, also Open Collective is affordable therapy. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is affordable therapy. It's not $400, $500 per therapist. It is like $100 per therapist per session, you know? So it's like, you'll find, I don't want to give specific like prices and then you don't get that, because every therapist is different, but Open Collective is a affordable therapy resource. So that's why I'm mentioning it, and that's why it's so important to me. I'm trying to look at other ones. How did you find a therapist? Do you feel like you got what you wanted and needed from the sessions? I've only gone to a couple of sessions. It's only been 2.5 months, but every single session I go to, I learn something new about myself, and it's kind of like I'm an onion. So like I'm peeling back these layers, and it's just making my life so much better. And I look forward to therapy every single week, y'all. Every single week. So I'm like, this is obviously helping because I look forward to it. Like, you guys have no idea. It's the best part of my week. And also my therapist has like started making me journal, which is something that I'm like super scared of, because it's like, damn, I'm looking at my problems right in front of me and they can't like erase from the paper. So that's also another thing that I think is really amazing, is like journaling, even if you can't do it a lot, because I can't, it's just very hard. So I do it usually after my sessions or right before my sessions, because I kind of want to get out everything that I discussed or everything that I want to Someone Someone said, I feel like I would cry every session. How has it been digging deep and opening up? So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I said before, I don't cry, but I know if I do cry, then like something's working. And for people who cry all the time, like I envy y'all because I wish it was easy for me. But it takes a lot, and it's not easy, y'all. It's really not easy. None of this is easy. This process is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, besides going freelance and being a full-time creative. But everything in life is hard, but it's like once you get out of your comfort zone, you find a whole different version of yourself, and that's what makes you better. And I think that's why therapy is such a big deal for me, because I am like finding different things about myself, and I am, becoming a better version of myself. And I think that is the best thing that I can do, especially being 28 years old. Like I want to kind of not really erase, but kind of learn and digest and navigate all these problems that I have, so that as I become like an adult, like an even more adult, because I feel like I'm still like not a full adult until I face these problems. But it's honestly the best decision I've ever made, and I honestly think everyone should go to therapy. I joke around and I, try to get all my guy friends and everybody around me to like just face the fact that it's okay, that if you have problems, or if you want to go to therapy, or if you want to explore mental health, there's nothing wrong with that. So this video is super long, and I'm sorry, but I really felt like I needed to do this, especially for people that were super engaged when I started speaking about therapy on my Instagram. I hope this helps you guys. I really hope this helps at least one person. If I have like 2 views, if it helps one person, I'll be so happy. I'm also super open to answering any more questions. You guys can DM me on Instagram or drop your questions if you're comfortable in the comments below. But I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I really, truly want to share more with you guys, and I want to take you on my therapy journey, because I know this is just the beginning, and I'm very excited, and I'm very excited for you guys. And like I said, it is a very, very, very tough and hard thing to face, but once you do and you actually do it, I promise you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna feel like all this weight that you've been carrying around for years is like kind of a little bit lighter. And I just really hope you guys, face these problems and aren't afraid to be vulnerable, or to, look for help if you need it, because there's so many resources and there's so many things out there that can help you, and there's so many people that want to help you, including myself. So let's do this together, and let's push through, and let's break the generational trauma and the curses, and let's, better ourselves for 2021. Guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. If you want to see more videos about being vulnerable and going to therapy, let me know, comment below, and I will see you guys in my next video.